This week, we're talking about 50 Shades of Real Estate. So this went around a little bit more than a week ago, this listing that featured some unusual, we'll call it adult playground equipment in the basement. And it wasn't long until national news affiliates picked it up. The agent was featured on a realtor podcast quickly after this listing went live. And what looks like a normal suburban home in Pennsylvania ends up having in the basement some exercise equipment, let's say. There is a gym with some traditional exercise equipment, but then there's a jungle gym with a swing and some other items that look like maybe they'd be used to get a horse to run faster, and a lot of other equipment that was unusual to be seen in a typical suburban home. So of course, pictures got circulated around, the listing became very popular, and everybody had a really good laugh. So it was marketed as 50 Shades of Maple Glen, which I guess is the city that it was located in. And anyways, kudos to the listing agent for really getting a lot of exposure for this listing. But for me, I wanted to kind of point out a few things. It's a teaching moment, not to judge people over what they do in their spare time. There's the idea that that particular equipment isn't part of a real estate transaction unless you spell it out. It's the difference between personal property and a fixture. So this comes up all the time, not with swing sets, but with things like refrigerators, washer dryer, other things in a normal real estate transaction. Is it part of the house or is it personal property? So the term fixture has kind of built on the word affixed. So think of something like a chandelier is affixed to the ceiling, screwed in, wired in, not easily removable. It is a fixture and it is part of the house and part of a real estate transaction. Something like a countertop microwave would be personal property. It's just plugged in, you unplug it, you take it. So a swing set or a spanking bench or something like that, if you want it included in a real estate transaction, you need to specify that under the personal property section that we have in the contract. And you also need to specify that it should be included at no assigned value. That is so that your lender won't be financing personal property. They don't like financing swing sets or whips and chains and other things of that nature. They like to finance real estate. So you put, if you want Christian Gray's swing, you need to spell out that Christian Gray's swing is included in the transaction at no assigned value. You also, if that is not to be included in the transaction, or if the seller wants that to be something that you pay additional for, then you need a bill of sale to treat that as a completely separate transaction like you would a Craigslist purchase, only I think most Craigslist purchases don't have a bill of sale. This is basically a receipt, an itemized receipt of what is to be included and how much you're paying for those things. But that is separate than your purchase contract. That is separate than the real estate transaction because it's completely and only personal property. Now, this particular 50 Shades of Maple Glen home happened to be sold furnished. So that's why all of those things were included in the photos, and that's why it could be branded or marketed in a way that would maybe appeal to someone that wanted those kind of things. I can tell you, if I represented the buyer on something like that, not only would we need to itemize everything that would be included in the sale, but my closing gift would be super easy. It would be about 5 gallons of bleach. So that's it for this week in real estate. Hope you had an enjoyable time seeing this listing and me cracking a few jokes at it, but hopefully it was educational that there are differences between a fixture like a chandelier or a personal property like a coffee maker. So that's it. If you have any questions or comments, please list them below. I'd love to talk to you further about this. If you want to show the house, I can refer you to a great agent in Pennsylvania. Thanks for watching.